What is up, guys? Patrick from NintenTalk here, and today we are going to discuss 8 games that we need on Switch. And I say we because I'm joined by a friend, Zach from SwitchForce. What's up, man?
What's going on, Pat? Thanks so much for having me on. I am constantly excited, perpetually hyped for new Switch games, so this is the perfect fit.
I'm excited. We're in this weird time where nothing is coming out, so I feel like this is the perfect video to make. And I've asked Zach to come up with, we're each going to come up with 2 third-party games and 2 first-party games, and I told him to get a little crazy. So let's see what we came up with. I'll start right away with my first third-party game. I think this is kind of perfect timing for this, and it is The Sims. So The Sims 4, they're still making updates, which I was surprised to hear, and I feel like this makes sense for a couple reasons. You have a lot of casual gamers coming over to the Switch because of Animal Crossing. I hate to generalize, but they're facts about the female population coming over, getting into the Switch and stuff. So I feel like The Sims, would be a great fit. And I think the thing here is, like, usually third-party games that come over to the Switch, there's usually a pricing barrier, like they're either overpriced because they've been out a long time.
Right.
But I feel like you can package in a lot of the DLC to make this make sense. I don't know. How do you think?
Yeah. Sims giant collection to gracefully transition Animal Crossing players into something a little bit different. I mean, look, EA has said that they want to bring more games to Switch. They make me nervous because they have not held up that bargain thus far. But you're right. Like, Sims seems like the ideal game to bring. The player base is huge. Animal Crossing has really, I think, shown that style of simulation is super wanted right now, and since they have all of the content already complete and ready to go, it seems like it would be a cakewalk of a port.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not something like Animal Crossing where you have to play every day. You can just pop in, pop out, and I think, the people that like the simulation style, like you were saying, it's just, I feel like it would just be, it's a no-brainer, EA. Come on, what are you doing?
Make it happen. My first pick from the third-party side of things, this is like a third-party, first-party hybrid, but I think it should count, Pat. I'm going Zelda plus Rabbids Dungeon Battle.
Ooh.
Bringing a sequel to the Mario plus Rabbids franchise that was so well received. It was like a dangerous combination, but the team over there at Ubisoft did it so well. It was a wonderful moment when Miyamoto came on stage at the Ubisoft conference years ago. Not going to have an on-stage conference this year, but I think it's a great fit. Throw Link, throw Zelda, throw the cast of Breath of the Wild in there, and maybe just mix up the formula a bit. So in Kingdom Battle, it was very XCOM-esque with these tactical turn-based battles. And I wonder if you could do something, very similar, but more dungeon delving. So I would like to see a better emphasis on loot and upgrades. Although Mario plus Rabbids did have a lot of that. I think it'd be fun if you could, mix up the battles by, I guess, more puzzles within the environments. I think they could really
like a Zelda twist.
Riff on the formula that's already been established, but keep what made that so cool.
I love this for a few reasons. First of all, Nintendo's already said that they want a Zelda game every year, and we're not getting Breath of the Wild 2. Let's just put that to rest. But yeah, I really do like it, and I think Zelda, would be the best franchise to put in there because there's so many well-known characters. It kind of makes me think of Hyrule Warriors, and I think this is a home run, and Nintendo and Ubisoft, they're bros now. So I'm warming up to the Rabbids. I didn't like them too much, but okay. So my first party game, and this is a big one for me personally, Star Fox Crusade.
Ooh.
So I'm a giant Star Fox fan, and I feel like Starlink just didn't do it for me. I don't know if that's a hot take right there, but I feel like
the game's $5 all the time, so I don't think it's that much for
I feel like what dragged that down was the Toys to Life. I thought it was a solid game, a lot of exploration, and kind of why I chose this name of Crusade is I kind of wanted to go back to a mixture of Star Fox Assault, Star Fox Adventure, where you're out of the R-Wing, you're walking around. I feel like Star Fox, the problem with that franchise is that they've kind of tried to retell the same story over and over and over. So get them out of the R-Wing. Of course, you will have the R-Wing sections, but introduce new characters, make a new story, and I feel like this is the time to do it. I think Nintendo and Ubisoft proved that people still have a big interest in Star Fox.
I think that would be, it's one of the few franchises that Nintendo has yet to really give a full push on Switch. I personally love the Star Fox inclusion in Starlink. I think that game is underrated, but it did not sell very well, and the cutscenes were gorgeous. So yeah, take that graphical look and flesh it back out into more of a tried and true Star Fox. I gotta say that, like, as a innocent and maybe not the best judge of quality kid, I thought Star Fox Adventures was really fun. Crystal and the whole gang running around. It has
that like PS2 GameCube charm where it's like a platformer. Yeah, I like that.
So I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing some of that come back as well.
Okay.
My first party pick it's the golden game. It's Super Mario Strikers Kickoff. Next Level Games doing phenomenal sports work. They did a wonderful job with Luigi's Mansion 3. Did anybody think that game was going to outsell Mario Maker 2? No, they did not. But it did, because it's so good. And it's, I think, one of the best single-player campaign-style things Nintendo has ever made. I feel like that's like, wow, just like a given at this point.
Yeah.
And them back on the sports pitch with soccer would be amazing. Tennis Aces, I thought, was really good. Nintendo loves to use Mario in different ways. And maybe this one isn't for this year, because Mario seems to be everywhere else this year, but it's a home run. Like, soccer is a global sport.
I like it. This to me screams like Q1 of next year, because like usually Nintendo starts really, really slow with like a port or something, and I feel like a competitive sports game after the year that we're about to have now, it's like, I feel like that'd be a great start to the year. So yeah, I'm totally on board. Like, Tennis Aces had such a good gameplay mechanic that if they just focus on that, maybe add a few things. I don't really care about the story mode, but add in some mini games, some online, and dude, I'm on board.
I'm the same way. I think the story mode was like a cute inclusion for Tennis Aces, but as long as they perfect like the gameplay loop and get that competitive spirit and maybe a few fun power-ups and a great roster, like, that game it's golden.
All right, Zach. So my next third party, actually, it's another EA game. EA, what are you doing? But it is Need for Speed Heat. Have you played this one, Zach?
I have.
So I have been kind of diving into it recently, and I think it's great. I think it's a return to form. So if you guys haven't played it, Need for Speed Heat is kind of, the gimmick with this is like it has a day and night cycle. So basically in the daytime, you race around and you do like legal races for money. And then at night, you do illegal races to kind of build up your reputation.
Street cred.
Yeah, your street cred. Yeah, there is a cheesy story, but I don't know. I've been a giant Need for Speed fan like for years. And I just think that you look at the realistic racing simulators, I don't know. None of them really stand out to me. We have, what is it, Burnout Remastered, which it's like $5 on other consoles. It would be like $50 on the Switch. This is a relatively new game, so I feel like this makes sense.
I like it. I mean, I've got another racer for you later that I might like a little more, but I think Need for Speed is a franchise that obviously has so many fans. There's got to be at least a few million of them that own Switches, right?
Yeah.
I will say that Hot Pursuit is my favorite Need for Speed, because I just like the Lamborghini cop cars. I think that's just a heck of a lot of fun. But this one has like that similar thing of kind of like that mixing between like racing for the right reasons and racing for the wrong reasons. So as long as they could get the online solid,
yeah,
I'm all for it.
And also this runs at 30 frames, so it's like ready for the Switch. So
indeed. You know what else is ready for the Switch?
What is it?
Space. Dead Space. Dead Space is one of the best franchises of the last generation that somehow didn't make it to this gen. Very weird. But they could at least bring back the trilogy on Switch. And again, we're asking so much of EA here, Pat. We're really putting the pressure on, because this is an EA joint. I think Dead Space is phenomenal. I would say, and here's my hot take, that Dead Space is like the new, or well, it's not new anymore, but it was the Resident Evil of last generation, right? It's that stop and pop shooter that has like fear but great gameplay and incredible environments. I love the franchise the whole way through. I know a lot of people kind of petered out once 3 rolled around, but 3 has this very interesting like build your own gun mechanic. There's like crazy co-op missions. You end up fighting the moon. I mean, what more can you ask for? So I think it would be a great package to, bring that franchise to Nintendo players. And like, who knows? Maybe in the next cycle of consoles, we'll get a Dead Space 4.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good sales pitch. The thing is, like, we're talking about these third-party games, and we're choosing them strategically because there's a lot to each of them. Like Need for Speed is new, Sims has a bunch of DLC. So I think a trilogy people would probably be, willing to pay full price for. So I could definitely see this. It's a franchise that I personally haven't touched, so I would be all for it. The finale, guys. All right. So Zach didn't know me back in 2017, but we played a lot of Splatoon. So Splatoon 3 being Nintendo's big game. I don't know about this year. This year is such a big question mark with, you don't know, how much they can do development-wise because of all the restrictions. But Splatoon 3, I think, is the next big game. We talk like Animal Crossing level. Like Splatoon 2, I feel like did well sales-wise. But, man, if they flesh things out, made sort of, I don't want to say it, but Battle Royale type mode or like a bigger type of battle, I think this could be a home run. So what do you think about Splatoon 3?
Man, I love Splatoon 2 so much as well. Look at this. We're bonding over games we didn't even know we liked together. Like, that is to me, Nintendo's best example of fully supporting a game. Maybe until Animal Crossing New Horizons. Who knows? In 2 years, we might look back and say, wow, they killed it with ACNH. But I love the support, and I love how Splatoon started to branch out into co-op and really flesh out the single player and more competitive mode. So you're right. Like, where could they go next? Battle Royale seems like a logical. I mean, I feel like Nintendo's always behind by a couple months or years. So Battle Royale seems like it's kind of maybe starting to dwindle, but that's the perfect time for Nintendo to pick it up.
I would love to see Salmon Run, get a little bit of an upgrade. I thought that was a genius mode, but it just wasn't, I feel like, fully realized is the word. But this, man, you can already tell with this the last Splatfest coming up, people are so hyped about it. And it's crazy. Like, this game came out 3 years ago, so there's definitely interest. I think it's one of Nintendo's best franchises.
Let me ask you this. Would you think that there's a chance that Splatoon 3 may not be a true Splatoon 3, but instead like a Splatoon spin-off? Because we've heard that discussed before of like, this franchise is so popular in the East especially, that it does have the power to, like, I'm not saying like a full-on, Splatoon tennis aces, but that they could do some sort of, they've tried it before with Animal Crossing, like a party game or some sort of, family multiplayer experience.
So I would not be upset at all if they take a completely different approach with this next one. I was never a fan of like the story mode, and like the DLC is good, but I'm just not a fan of like the single player aspect. Let's make a little guess here, and maybe Splatoon 3 is free. And every online member gets Splatoon 3 free download, and then they, give us Mario shirts and different, like, they take like a true Fortnite approach to it. And I feel like, how many people have Switches now to have a user base of like 50 million people playing Splatoon? That could be pretty powerful.
It's one of those ballsy moves that you could see Nintendo like making in this era. New consoles come out on the other side of the playing field, but Nintendo says, hey, like, we're going to take one of our best properties, make it free, and let everybody play. Like, yeah, those are the kind of things that are ballsy moves, but they can shift momentum quite quickly. But I don't know if anything shifts momentum as much as drifting into this next title. My final pick, Pat, is Mario Kart 9, which I know we already got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on this system, but it wasn't made for Switch. And with the success of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe pushing over 25 million units, the success of the Switch, they would be silly not to bring us a new Mario Kart. And now you can incorporate the Smash Bros. Ultimate mentality into Mario Kart, deliver a ton of characters, a ton of courses spread across Splatoon and Zelda and even ARMS or Fire Emblem. You could really make this the Nintendo Kart with still the Mario Kart name.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer. I mean, I believe that Mario Kart, we've seen the sales, but this is their best franchise. This is the best franchise, maybe like on like a GTA level. It's that popular. So I agree with the Nintendo Kart. Like, put everyone in, put Samus in, put Star Fox in, and just like,
they kind of did with the amiibo, right? So like they're nudging in that direction. And like they had Isabelle. Like it's so close. The only thing that's dangerous is you can't really replicate the courses from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, even though that houses some of the best tracks. So maybe they do go fully new. Maybe they, a lot of people have said, what if they go back to the double dash system? I'm gonna say I want triple dash. Three people in a car.
Well, those are our picks, guys. Let us know in the comments what games you would love to see on the Switch. Thank you very much, Zach, again for joining me today.
I hope that at least half of these come true.
Yeah, definitely. Go check him out over at SwitchForce. They do a bunch of cool stuff over there. Guys, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.